podcast brought to you by Chinook Cidery. Use discount code The Skipper's View to get 10% off all your sunflower seeds from Chinook. I'm Brett. That's Hagen. Hagen, how are we doing today?
Doing good. Just a weekend, a lot of golf, a lot of baseball. So it's always a good recipe when those two are together. So excited to talk about it's been a little bit.
I feel like you play. How many rounds of golf do you think you played this summer?
I was actually talking to my dad about this earlier today, and I think I'm around 40 right now. I'll probably end up with around 60.
It's a good year. It's a good year. Speaking of good years, and we got to talk about the Milwaukee Brewers, the Brew Crew. And it's actually great that you said the number 60. So the Brewers just capped their best 60-game stretch in ball club history. 44-16 across their last 60. I wrote a piece today. I didn't even mean to do it. It was like the MLB All Underappreciated Team. Go check it out if you haven't. I wrote about two Brewers in there. I feel like guys like they have their stars, the Brewers. They have the big names that aren't even performing like stars. They have their injured stars. They have guys who keep going up and down on the IL. It's the entire ball club is contributing here, Hagen. What's your favorite part about the Milwaukee Brew Crew and what they're doing this season?
I think my favorite part about it is it's kind of a lack of star power in a way, where normally you like to see these teams like the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Mets. They have all these superstars. And yes, the Brewers have stars. I wouldn't say they have a true superstar. Obviously, Chourio is hurt right now. He's been out for this winning streak they're on right now, and he's going to be on his way there soon. Obviously, Yelich is more on the decline, be a little bit older here. But it just watched them this weekend, especially playing the Mets. They're such a tough team. Like they're one of those teams that no matter who is on the roster, they're going to be good every single year. Because they just play pesky baseball, I think would be the way to put it, where it just if they're going to strike out, it's going to be a tough at bat to strike them out. It's going to be 1 through 9 guys who are refusing to strike out. They're just going to wreak havoc on the base pass. They're going to play good defense. They're going to play fundamental baseball. They're just one of those teams that it's just infuriating to play against, honestly, because it's not this team you expected. And if you just looked at the roster and name value, you would not think they were the best team in baseball. But you watch them play and you realize why they are such a good baseball team. So I just love it. I mean, even too, if you want to take just ERA since the middle of June, they're the second best in all of baseball, and WRC Plus is the second best in all of baseball. I mean, this team 1 through 9, 1 through 5 in the rotation in the bullpen is just this team is extremely good, and they're a very fun baseball team to watch.
I have to agree. Dude, Jackson Chourio he's having a fine year. He didn't even really get started to what we thought he was going to do, and now he's on the IL. Mizorowski, he's now on the IL. He's expected to come back sooner rather than later. Logan Henderson just got sent down. He's another talented, phenomenal arm. Like, Mizorowski was supposed to be a reliever bullpen guy, comes in, starts, and he absolutely shoves. And, Logan Henderson did the same thing with, across 4 starts. He looked untouchable. And they got guys like Brandon Woodruff, Peralta. This team is so fun to watch, and especially because the dollar amount on their payroll, they are not they're not nearly a top spender. So everyone, I say this all the time, take notes. Take notes. They're doing something right in Milwaukee right now.
Even too, someone you didn't name who's also been phenomenal this year is Quinn Priester. He's got a 3.15 ERA and 114 innings with Milwaukee this year. He has been insane. I think his last 10 starts doesn't have a loss. He's riding a crazy streak right now. He gets ground balls. He was kind of traded away a couple times, got to Milwaukee. I think a lot of people thought they overpaid for him when they first got him, but I'll say it's working out huge for him, and it's awesome seeing a guy like that finally pan out.
Yeah, and I was actually about to move him in a dynasty league, funny enough. And then I looked, I was like, wait, 118.2 innings pitched. 118 and 2/3. We're talking baseball. I'm not going to use decimal points here. In those innings, he's got a 3.49 ERA, and he had a bad start today. Blew it up. He had a 12 ERA today. Quinn Priester, I just noticed, he's 24 years old. Mizorowski, Logan Henderson, Peralta's not that old. Woodruff's their oldest pitcher, but he's by far the most talented. It's kind of nuts what they're working with right now in Milwaukee's rotation. Abner Uribe is having a fantastic year out of the pen for them. I could talk all day about the Milwaukee Brewers, honestly. I really do like the Brew Crew. I'm trying to go see them before the season ends. My buddy lives up there, so maybe I'll have a free place to stay if I go.
I'll be out there in September, so maybe I'll see you out there.
Oh, send me the dates. Let's talk about that after. Let's jump to our next topic. Probably the biggest thing that happened this week. Maybe second biggest thing. Second biggest thing historic wise, because we all know what the number one was. Let's actually talk about it real quick. Let's talk about umpire today, Jen Powell. I think that's how you say it, correct? Made history. So she is the first woman umpire to ump in the MLB, a regular season game. She did the doubleheader yesterday, and then she was behind the plate today. She got a standing round of applause from everyone, rightfully so. Like, she is a pioneer for, women right now in the game of baseball. Seeing this was huge. Did you get to tune into her game at all today? I didn't get to watch the series at all between, I guess, Marlins Braves it was.
I didn't get to tune in at all, no, but I did see the standing ovation they gave her, and it was a really cool spot because obviously this is a historical point for baseball now. Seen it, especially the last few years. I mean, just the women in baseball now is becoming more of a bigger thing. I mean, we saw it with the Giants coach. I don't remember her name off the top of my head right now, but we saw her last year, the year before that, whatever it was. Kim Ng, the GM of the Marlins, getting in there. So we're seeing women get in baseball in all different aspects of the game, in the front offices, and on the field by umpiring. So it's a really cool spot to see what the sport's going right now.
Absolutely. I think it's Alyssa Nakin, by the way, of the Giants you were thinking about. She works within the operations department, or did at one point, but she now is with the Guardians, it looks like. So that was November of 2024. I must have missed that. So let's talk about, this was a historic start because we had two Hall of Famers going at it, and we're talking about our favorite, look at the wall, Clayton Kershaw going up against Max Scherzer. Probably the last start they'll ever see head-to-head with each other. Both of them go 6 innings. Both of them earn a quality start as they both gave up less than 3 earned runs. Scherzer obviously got, Kershaw, I should say, got the best of Scherzer in this one. The Dodgers ended up winning 5-1. But they didn't look like they invent themselves, but they both were excellent, in a way. Like, they gave up hits, but they didn't let a lot of runs score. I think Kershaw giving up 7 hits, Scherzer giving up 6. The fact that the total of 3 runs were scored between those 13 hits, it's pretty low. That's pretty good. Keeping guys stranded on base.
I mean, this is a matchup. I mean, all the kids my age call it the unction, just for 2 older guys. But I mean, they just show they still have it out there. I mean, they first matched up in 2008, which, funny enough, that matchup was supposed to be Randy Johnson and Greg Maddux when they were both in their 40s, 44 and 42 years old. And it ended up being they both got scratched, turned into Max Scherzer, 24-year-old, and Clayton Kershaw, 20-year-old. So that was it's crazy how long ago that was, 2008. And these guys, whatever, it's 15 years later, they're out here doing 6 innings, 1 run, 6 innings, 2 runs. It's really cool to see. Obviously, 2 of the best pitchers of all time. You could probably put them top 10 ever. It's just really cool to see them that they still have it out there, especially when they're both healthy, because they both had their injuries recently. Especially, but when your body's going to break down, and you're just a pitcher too, throwing you have that many miles on your arm from innings wise. But if you're this old, it's really cool to see this. And it was one of those matches where you wanted to tune in, and it was like, I can't miss this game.
Yeah, that is. I truly do think, and it's probably on like a large part to do that baseball just is the longest sport played here in America. They're going to have cooler stats, and baseball has also been such a stat heavy sport for so long where I feel a lot of other sports are playing catch up with the way they track and use statistics. This is such just a baseball stat that, like, the night Greg Maddux and Randy Johnson didn't start, Scherzer and Kershaw did. And it's like, how that's so random that like 4 Hall of Famers all were like in one swap for a game. I don't know. I think that's absurd. Sorry. Let's talk about a guy who could be future Hall of Famer. Pretty early in his career to decide that, but Hagan, let's talk about Boston's Roman Anthony. Just signed a 8-year, $130 million extension. Let's first get your thoughts. Do you think this was the right move for Anthony?
I 100% think it was the right move. I know a lot of people, especially with these pre-arb deals, a lot of people say, oh, he undersold himself. He should have done that because he got to earn more money. I mean, you got to think about it. This is a 21-year-old kid who just had the opportunity to get $130 million guaranteed, and it can go up too with escalators if he wins Rookie of the Year this year as well. I mean, he's also getting the money. I mean, he's giving away 3, more likely 4 free agent years, but he's still only going to be 31 when he hits free agent. Like he's so young in this game that he's going to hit free agency at the normal time people hit free agency, but already $130 million in his pocket compared to just if we didn't hit the pre-art deal. So this was a really smart deal on his end. I think Boston too. I mean, it's really – I know we kind of gave Craig Breslow a little shit the last few episodes, just especially on his deadline, but he's done a really good job. He's building this core, and obviously they're signing guys long-term now. And you have the Campbell, I know hasn't been great. He's struggled in AAA since he's gone down this year, but that's still a great piece to have going forward. You have Sid on Rafael locked up long-term. Has been phenomenal this year. You have Garrett Crochet, who's looking like the third best pitcher, you could argue even higher in the world right now. And he's only 26 years old. I mean, Boston is building a true core here now, and they're already a very good baseball team. They're locking up their studs for a really long time, and I really like that.
Yeah, they seem to be following the Braves map of go-to-market here. I love it for Boston. Hate it for the Yankees and the rest of the American League East. Hopefully Boston doesn't make the same mistakes, though, that Atlanta's been seen to have been making with that, where they would really lock up the core but don't do enough to continuously suffice the missing pieces, and I get the Braves have had one of the more talented rosters in baseball, but like this deadline, we thought Anthopoulos slept. Last deadline, probably more of the same, could have been a little bit more aggressive given the roster, but needless to say, I totally agree with you. Roman Anthony, go get your bag. $130 million for a 21-year-old, and he signed, it's 8 years. So he'll be done with this at age 29, and age 30, he'll have a club option for $34 million. And, he'll be 30. Like, we've seen guys sign massive deals at age 30. We could see Roman Anthony sign it, even if they signed him to an extension before this deal's up. Let's just say 2033. He's going to get paid. This guy's a stud. He's going to get paid. And who's to say he puts us in the S&P 500 half this money for the next 5 years, 8% a year. Pretty nice return on your money there. This is generational. This is generational wealth.
I mean, you just even said about like he's going to be 30 and he can still go out there and earn a huge contract. And I like you brought up the point too of how many guys. I think most of these $300 million contract guys are going to be 30. Like they're going to be 30 when they sign those. I mean, Lindor was 30 when he signed his. I believe Machado was 30 when he signed his. Harper was getting close up there, maybe a little bit younger. But I believe Kyle Tucker is going to be 30 next year too. Like think about what we're thinking about Kyle Tucker right now. He's one of the best players in all Major League Baseball. We're saying potentially $500 million this guy's going to get. And Roman Anthony's going to be his age at that same point with $130 million in his pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like it's dude, you gotta get paid when you get paid. And like, look at like any outfielder who's 21 years old right now. What do you think the average payroll for a 21-year-old in baseball is right now? It's definitely sub $1 million a year. In professional baseball,
I think it's probably around $800,000.
Yeah, we'll look that up. If you could pull that up while we talk, if that's even findable, I don't know if maybe you would have to use some sort of Gen AI to pull that up. But that's an interesting thought about how many. What?
$760,000 because they would come up and make the league minimum. So $760,000.
Jeez, yeah, Roman Anthony won this. Speaking of Boston, President Sam Kennedy made some comments this week. I did want to talk about this with all the good going on. It's like, why throw shade? And it seemed like he was throwing shade at a specific player, big name player that just moved to the Bay Area. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but clearly it was towards Rafael Devers, these comments. And he was quote unquote saying they're looking for long-term contract players who value playing in Boston. So this happened right after the Anthony deal happened, and he was throwing shade. Like, do you think this is necessary? Do you like it, keeping it spicy? I want to hear your take on this.
I mean, I kind of see both sides of it here. I kind of like the side of, hey, man, you don't want to be here. Well, we can tell you that. We all know you didn't want to be here. We want guys who want to be here. I like saying that. But at the same time, when we have 60, 70-year-olds out here throwing shade at people in the media, I think that's just kind of childish in a way at points. But I do like the point that he's making, though, even if he didn't mean it in Devers, that he's not going to come out and say he meant that towards Devers. But I do like the idea of you want to have guys who value playing in your city. You want guys who want to be in that city, fight for that city, especially a town like Boston, too. I mean, that's a city too where like New York, those fans can get on you hard at times. Where it's a tough place to play, so you want to have guys who want to be there.
Yeah. Um, you know, I just feel like in professional sports, especially, like things just get leaked, and like this isn't even a leak job. You said it to the press, like you know how it's going to be taken. Why give any fuel to the fire? That's just my personal take. Let's jump though. I think we got to talk about another star who's in a very peculiar situation. That star's name is Paul Skeens. He's a generational talent, one of the best pitchers we'll ever see. He's having an even better year, pretty much statistically, than last year. Um, and he's in no man's land right now. The 24 games started. He has a 7-8 record. He's a 5.7 WAR on the year as a pitcher. He's played in 24 games. He's generated almost 6 WAR. That's insane. He has a sub-2 ERA. He's at a 1.94 through 144 innings, tossed 162 strikeouts to 34 walks. He's given up 31 earned runs in 144 innings. He's absurd, Paul Skeens, how good he is. Is he going to win the NL? Is he going to win the NL MVP? Cy Young.
If he's pitching like this, I think he has to. I mean, I said before I thought they maybe limit his innings a little bit just because of a guy like Paul Skeens pitching for a Pirates team that's not good at all. You have nothing to really play for. They limit him a little bit. But I think he also, too, I mean, they'll get compensated for a pick and stuff if he wins the award. So you want him to go out there and do that. So I think that he has a great chance to do so. Obviously, I was in on Wheeler a little bit ago, but right now I think Skeens has to be the favorite. I mean, excuse me. He said his 47 game starts in his career. I mean, MLB Network put this out the other day. Lowest ERA through the first 47 games since 1913. He has the 5th best all time. I've never even heard of the 40s ahead of him.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. One thing I will say though to the Paul Skeens conversation, he has 15 quality starts this year. And that's tied for second with 5 other players. Do you know who else has 15 quality starts this year?
Mitch Keller.
Oh, you read my article. Mitch Keller, his teammate has 15 quality starts, and they're both tied. So there's 5 guys tied with 16 quality starts across all Major League Baseball. 5 guys. Then there's another 5 with 15, and that was as of this morning. So that means out of the top 10 players pitching in baseball, the Pittsburgh Pirates have 2 of them right now, putting up quality starts, earning these guys, pretty much saying like, hey, bullpen, every time I pitch, you're going to have like an off day or big rest day where a lot of guys can get rest. And they still are lethargic. I don't know how to, I don't get it that they need to be bullish. And like, you could dream on Pittsburgh. I'm actually going to rant about Pittsburgh for a second. Cause like you could dream on Skeens, Bubba Chandler, Jared Jones when he's healthy, Mitch Keller. And then, obviously Brian Hayes is gone and he never could figure it out hitting. You figure you get Connor Griffin up. You get maybe Florentino, that 18-year-old prospect who looks like a stud right now. That's not going to be up for a few years. But you have O'Neal Cruz. If Brian Reynolds can get back on track next year with a big bounce back, maybe back to like 2, maybe even 3 WAR for the season, like that's not even asking a lot out of Brian Reynolds compared to, what we've seen out of him prior years. They could be really good with just signing some like bats and relief pitching. It's that simple. The pitching factory is in Pittsburgh with Milwaukee, Tampa, and Boston. Like these teams know how to produce good pitching internally. So I'm done there. Do you think there's shot at any bat they can get this summer though? That's really good. Like actual they can get and they would pay.
I think they're going to be looking into that. I don't think they're giving anybody over a 10 million AAV. I hope they do, but there might just be shopping in the Tommy Pham and those buckets for the rest of free agency like they have seen lately. So hopefully they can just get these prospects up here soon and bank on them.
Yeah. All right, let's jump. Let's talk about a pitcher in the American League, Nathan Eovaldi. There is a legitimate case for him to win the Cy Young this year. I'm not saying that if I had that vote, I'm voting for him for Cy Young. What I'm saying is there's a legitimate case. So hear me out. 19 starts this year. He's 10-3, 4.2 WAR, 138 ERA. That's through 111 innings pitched, and he's 111 strikeouts. So his K over 9 is 9, or he's getting in a strikeout every inning he pitches, and he's given up 20 walks through 111 innings. It's absurd. On top of that, he's given up 17 earned runs in 111 innings, 17 earned runs. A lot of Detroit fans would have a lot to say about Tarik Skubal in the AL. Hagen, what do you think is going to happen, or what do you think needs to happen for Eovaldi to, surpass Skubal in the voting favoritism here? Because right now, I would say the money's on Skubal to win.
I think you'd even have to take Crochet above him too. Where I love Eovaldi too. I mean, you obviously have to have him in here. I'd have him third right now behind those two guys, but it's going to be hard when Skubal and Crochet are both going to have 200 innings, and Eovaldi's going to have to 170 to get close to maybe within save what it is if he keeps this low ERA, because it seems like he's going to win that unless he has blow up starts and he changes his whole season around. But the way he's pitching is a Cy Young level. I mean, this is as good as that Skubal stretch that he had, that 12 start stretch or whatever it was earlier in the season, but maybe even better if you want to say that. So I think he has to get, obviously the innings is the main thing, where he can't, I don't know if you can win a Cy Young here with 150, 160 innings when you have guys like Skubal and Crochet who are going to be, arguably one of those guys is going to be leading the league in strikeouts. They're going to be leading the league in innings. They're probably going to be leading in wins well. It's hard, but Eovaldi for sure has a case. And for me, I think I put him third behind those two, and that's only because the innings. I mean, if he was up there with the same as them, he would for sure be the favorite in my eyes.
So you're dead on. I pulled up the odds, and this is a Fox Sports article. This is updated earlier today at around 2:30 in the afternoon Eastern. Tarik Skubal right now is minus 210. Garrett Crochet is plus 150. Nathan Eovaldi plus 1600. And then in fourth place in terms of odds is Joe Ryan at plus 5,000. So it's really a two-man show at the top, mainly Skubal. It's I want to root for Eovaldi just because, dude, he's having a fantastic year. But I'm not going to root against Tarik Skubal, who I think is – Tarik Skubal might win back-to-back Cy Youngs here, people. That's not a feat that happens every day. In fact, I think it's cool seeing these historic things happen while we're watching baseballs. Tarik Skubal is the guy right now. And the way we look at Cy Young, by just the name recognition, we didn't watch him play, but because of the award's name and we know he's an absolute dog. I would love that for Tarik Skubal. When we're talking to our kids about baseball one day, it's just Tarik Skubal, dog.
And even to with Skubal, you don't want to root against him because he can do stuff. He can be the first person to win back-to-back Cy Young since 2018, 2019, Jacob deGrom. He could be the second person ever to win back-to-back unanimous Cy Youngs from, I believe, 99 to 2000, Pedro, or 2000, 2001. I mean, he won it unanimously last year. I don't think he'd get unanimously this year. It would take a little bit of a fall off from a Crochet and an Eovaldi standpoint, but that's still a possibility here. I mean, we can still see that happen. But even on the Eovaldi's sake, it is really cool seeing him do this as well, because he's a two-time TJ guy. And historically, these two-time TJ guys have not really been good at all. I mean, Shohei's going through it right now. He's still up there. But if you just look at just historically the numbers on guys who get Tommy Johns for the second time, they don't really last that long. And when they do, they're not overly they're not great on the mound. So it's really cool to see him breaking this trend that we have a lot of Tommy John surgeries and a lot of double TJ guys to kind of back this up. So it's really cool to see him kind of breaking the trend here and being the first guy to really do this.
Yeah, it's just dude, and I've said this on this podcast. I'll continue to say his name is Tarik Skubal. He is meant to be a legendary pitcher in this league. That it's just the name. Losers aren't named Tarik Skubal. Winners are named Tarik Skubal. You get what I mean, though. He just has that name, that X factor. We've seen him when he gets on the mound. He'll chew people out. I love Tarik Skubal. I love watching him. Let's have you talk about the next topic. is your boy.
Yeah, so Pete Alonso this weekend in Milwaukee, familiar place for him, hitting home runs there. He hit his 252nd of his career, tying Darryl Strawberry for the most all-time in the Mets franchise history. We talked about this last episode, how it was going to happen. Now he's tied with Darryl Strawberry here at the top and one away from being standing alone on that record, which is going to come here pretty soon. Hopefully this week when the Braves are in town and at home too, which would be really cool to see that there. But big congratulations to Pete Alonso. I mean, every Mets fan has been dreaming on this since the day he hit 50 home runs as a rookie, set the rookie home run record. Everyone's had this in their mind that this guy could be the guy that breaks Strawberry's record here. And especially in this offseason when he signed back and there was that long period of time where until February that he wasn't a Met, that everyone was kind of wondering that no one might not touch this record for a long time again if Pete Alonso if he doesn't sign back with this team. So it's really cool to see Pete Alonso break this record, especially knowing that there's not a guaranteed future with him with the Mets here.
So the question's not if, it's when does Juan Soto break this after Pete Alonso breaks the record?
That's the funny part is he breaks this, and Soto's most likely going to break it. I put my money on that.
Dude, Soto's got 20 bombs.
11 years in?
11 years in, you're going to say? So Soto's got almost 30 bombs right now on the season. And he started out not good. Imagine he finishes the season hot, gets like 35, possibly even 40, probably not 40, but you know what I mean? Like upper 30s. And like, this is peak years. If he knocks it like the mid to high tier 30s for the next 3 years, he's going to be at like 100 home runs through his first 3 seasons as a Met. And he signed a how many year deal? 15 years? Yeah.
15 years, yeah.
He's going to crush this record. Are we kidding?
Yeah, when you kind of do the math.
That's not a bad guess. That's not a bad guess.
I mean, you pull out the calculator here too, and it just, 252 home runs, breaking that it just sounds a lot more. And then you kind of do the math of it where it's just, I feel pretty confident Juan Soto, 30 home run a year guy if you take him 9 seasons to get to 270. So the 8th or 9th season is on pacing if Alonso obviously doesn't stay with the Mets here following this year. But either way, after that, even let's say Alonso does stay, Soto will still have 5 years, 6 years after that to pass him. So it's going to happen. I mean, Soto's going to be up there with the 500 home run club by the end of his career, most likely.
Yeah, and speaking of another guy who might be in the 500 home club when it's all said and done. Actually, probably not. Shohei Ohtani's he joined the league a little late. Do you think he actually gets to 500? He's at
I don't know
65 right now, so he's halfway there. And he's more than halfway there. And he just reached the 40 homer mark for the 4th time in his career, 2nd time as a Dodger this week. Do you think he hits 500?
I mean, now when you look at it, it kind of seems like he's going to get it there. I mean, obviously he's been in the league since 2018. Since 2021, he has the most 40 home run seasons. Obviously that's including this year, but obviously the guys who haven't hit there yet. He has 4. Kyle Schwarber second with 3. Pete Alonso and Aaron Judge are second or the third with 2. And then 11 other guys have 1 combined. So it's crazy. He's arguably the best home run hitter in the league, not named Aaron Judge. But, I mean, looking at this, man, especially I think he has a real shot at 500 here. I mean, I have honestly never really thought about that before. But you kind of just sit here, look at the numbers. I mean, the way he's pacing, he's going to be hitting 50 home runs a year for at least a couple more years. And it's not like he's going to take a huge drop down from 50 to 30 per se. He's still going to probably gradually go down there. And it's also Shohei Ohtani too. I mean, we all know how this guy takes care of his body. He's not someone you have to worry about kind of going downhill towards when he gets a little bit older, not taking care of his body. It's someone that you would bet on probably more than anybody in the league to take care of themselves, put themselves in the right position to be able to play every single day. So I think 500 is a real possibility for Shohei.
Yeah. And I think as these, random arm cramps, arm injuries and stuff like that builds up, he's going to be pitching less and less. Dude, he's going to get to 50 home runs this year. He might get to 55 this year if he gets hot. Does that. He's going to be 25 short of like 300 by the end of the season. So it's like, dude, he's going to do it. It's Shohei. I don't know. I got to trust it's Shohei. He's going to hit 500 bombs. He's a legend of the sport. I will say 3 other legends. The only other guys on the Dodgers that do this hit the 40 homer mark, by the way. Duke Snyder did it 5 times from 53 to 57, got his auto. Gil Hodges, he did it twice in 1951 and 1954. And then Sean Green, he had 2 seasons where he did it in 2001, 2002. So the crazy thing about this, though, haven't he reached 40 home runs this season, Ohtani, in 117 games? He's the fastest to this benchmark in Dodgers history. Nuts.
I mean, it's just Shohei being Shohei there. I mean, I've said it for a while now that he's the most talented player to ever play the sport, and he just continues to break records that have been set for years and years and tens of years. It's incredible, everything he's doing. I mean, he's doing all this that we're talking about right now while he rehabbed his arm at the beginning of the year, and he's pitching again now. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, if we were talking about someone that broke this Dodgers record, became the fastest person to do that, it'd already be a big story. But add on the fact that he's pitching as well, it's really historic what we're seeing from Shohei Ohtani. And I think the most special case of a player in any sport going on right now, if you want to argue Travis Hunter in the NFL, who still has to do it, and I don't think he's going to be doing it at an MVP level, if I had to say now. I mean, Shohei Ohtani is arguably one of the best hitters on Major League Baseball, and he's one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. It's truly incredible what we watch from him.
Like, think about this. If Travis Hunter is the Ohtani of football, that comparison would be like, I'm trying to think of like
because Jamar Chase and Patrick
Graham combined. Your key words right there where still have to do it. That would be like Travis Hunter having to be, yeah, exactly, Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase on the receiving end, and then have to be like Jalen Ramsey, or I'm trying to think of the top DB in football. Ramsey, I don't think is the top DB anymore, like a Jair Alexander, or someone like nasty DB. And you would have to be both those and sustain those for like years and just do historic things. Which I doubt he will do. I think he's going to get put on one side of the ball at one point, and that'll be it. We'll see. We are a baseball show, so I'm not going to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars and their first round draft pick this year. So, hey, lead us on this last segment before we get into the news and notes of the Hot Corner.
Yeah, so Mackenzie Gore, I mean, he started off this season incredible. It seemed like this was the year he was finally breaking out. He was always a breakout pick for, it seems like, a lot of the baseball community every single year. Now he's been falling for a while now. I mean, his last 7 starts, in 28 innings, he has 26 earned runs, going through an 8.36 ERA, a 1.93 WHIP. Take his last 15 starts, his last 74 innings in that, a 1.51 WHIP and a 4.72 ERA. Take his last 24 starts, he's got a 4.25 ERA now with the 1.36 WHIP. I mean, it's been weird to see this fall off, especially for how good he started out this year. He's kind of regressing back to what he has been in Major League Baseball in his career, which it sucks to see, especially with the Nationals team where their future looked very bright going into this year. And now at this point of the season, it's kind of questionable where they're going to be looking like. They still have a little bit of bright future, but not as bright now. Obviously, we see a guy like James Wood going through his first really big struggle here. But it just sucks to see from Mackenzie Gore here. I mean, obviously, there's a few people in Skipper's Zoo that are pretty happy with this. I won't lie about that. But it does suck to see this.
If I'm a high-up executive with the Nationals, and I'm not going to pretend like I know the GM of the Nationals name or their manager. Who is their manager right now, Nationals?
It's an intern guy, I believe.
Yeah. Point is, if I'm the GM of the Nationals, I'm calling up the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm calling up the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm calling up Boston Red Sox, and I'm not calling them directly. I'm trying to hire their pitching staff because right now is the time to build your pitching department in Washington with the guys like Wood. You had the first overall pick this year, the young kid, shortstop out of the high school in Oklahoma. You have guys like CJ Abrams. You have Dylan Cruz, who's been injured all year. He's had an injury-ridden season. I'm not, out on Dylan Cruz. Like, I'm not keeping him anywhere. But at the same time, dynasty-wise, I think he's going to be a fine ball player. I think he's going to hit well and play solid defense. I think the Nationals have a lot of going for them, but they need to get the pitching right.
I mean, yeah, You're 100% right. They do have to get the pitching right because, especially these big time pitchers that they've had in their career. I mean, even the last 10 years, you went to the Nationals as a franchise. All these great pitchers they had were kind of crazy prospects, anyways, that they weren't like they truly developed someone kind of out of nowhere and made someone great. I mean, Steven Strasburg was the most high pitching prospect ever. I mean, him and Paul Skeens were up there. But even Mackenzie Gore, I mean, his last scoreless outing came all the way back on June 4th against the Cubs. We threw 7 innings, shutout with 7 strikeouts. Since then, he has a 6.39 ERA in baseball. It's not good what he's been doing lately, and I wonder if he's going to turn this around or if his season's going to finish off like this.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he could turn it around. Would love to see that in Mackenzie Gore. Let's jump to the news and notes. So I'll read through a few of these fast, then we could dive into a few of these. Trying to keep this under an hour. So we got a bunch of topics that happened this week. So let's talk about real quick. We'll start with the American League East. Alek Manoah made his 3rd rehab start on Thursday since coming back from his UCL surgery. So he hasn't pitched in a big league game since 2024. Hopefully we'll see him soon. I remember last time he was pitching, he wasn't pitching that well. New York Yankees, I don't even mean to laugh at this. It just sucks. If anyone saw this, it's just like, what a disaster. Like, first few years in retire. I know he's been retired for over 5 years. I know. But yeah, it's still his first few years out of retirement. Mariano Rivera comes back for Old Timers Day, playing a little, baseball with the fellas, and he tears his Achilles tendon while playing. I think they said he was playing center field when he tore it. I know he ran to first on one play as well when he got a single in the game. But this is just absurd. Like, tore your Achilles playing like an easy game of baseball. Poor Mariano Rivera, man.
I mean, it does suck for me. I think probably every single one of those guys in these Old Timers games, that's probably their worst fear, and what they're telling themselves is, do not get hurt.
He'll never
do
play
not
again.
get hurt at this
He'll
game.
never play again. Ever.
No.
Never.
No.
It's like, man, supposed to be enjoying golf for the next, 25 years, isn't let's talk about Houston, though. They had a couple big things happen this week. So they activated Spencer Arrighetti. Was not good, but we know he has disgusting stuff when he's on. He had multiple double-digit strikeout efforts last season. They moved AJ Blueball. He was optioned to AAA in the move. So, and Isaac Paredes was moved to the 60-day IL to open a 40-man spot. I don't think I've seen an official ruling, but it looks like Paredes is out for the rest of the year. Did you see anything on that? Is he getting the surgery and he's done?
I haven't seen the official ruling, but last I saw, it was even if he was going to come back, it was going to cut it very close to the end of the season.
Yeah, I think for everyone's sake, it's probably better. The way they obviously they haven't been playing great. They obviously just beat the Yankees in the series, but they've been cooling down a little bit. Christian Javier for them, he'll be making his return to the rotation early next week, or I should say this week. So you get some reinforcements of the rotation. Now you got Hunter Brown, Framber Valdez, you had Arrighetti, you had Christian Javier. Brandon Walter, we saw went down. He was pitching really well before he hit the IL. Who's to say? I think Houston they're one of those teams. They have depth everywhere, and I feel like every player on their team is good in some capacity. So, interested to see how Houston plays the next month and a half with Javier and Arrighetti coming back into the fold. Athletics, Luis Severino, he's heading to the 15-day IL due to an oblique strain. We talked about this earlier. Logan Henderson, he hit the IL with the right flexor strain. Good news, no structural damage, so he'll be back sooner rather than later. Let's talk about this one, Hagen. So Cincinnati Reds pitcher Nick Lodolo put on the 15-day IL due to a blister on his left index finger. So this happened on Monday. He left the game early, and the team's being cautious with him because he's had similar blister issues in the past. So he's missing the expected 15 days. Do you think this is going to be a long-term issue with him? It seems like this happens to Lodolo a lot. And he's, in general, I feel like he's been banged up a lot since the start of his MLB career.
I mean, yeah, he is one of those kind of younger guys that's always been hurt, but always been really good when he's on the field. And then we talked about this before, a few episodes ago, about the blisters, where it's just so frustrating because it's not like this huge painful injury or you tear your UCL, anything like that. You have a blister and you literally you cannot throw a baseball until it heals. If you try to rush it back, you're just going to re-aggravate it there. So you have to it's just a waiting game, which sucks, especially for something as small as a blister and keep you out weeks, which is it just sucks. It just such a frustrating injury because it just happens with throwing the baseball, whatever, gripping the ball too hard, whatever it is. But I don't know how it is if like that's a thing where blisters or just people get blisters more. I wonder if he would look into the way he's throwing the ball more, if it's is he gripping it tighter, stuff like that. But then you're also just changing what you've been doing and make you successful to major league level.
Yeah, the Reds, they're definitely going to miss him. They're 5 games above 500. They're 12 games back in the division, but in the wild card right now, they're not totally out of it. I think that they could, they're in fourth place of the wild card. They have a chance to obviously make it. They're right behind the Mets right now. So, having a guy who this year has put up a 3.05 ERA through 23 starts, 130 innings pitched with 124 strikeouts. Like Lodolo's been solid. This hurts at this time. This hurts because we don't know. We don't know if the blister is going to heal in 15 days. We hope it does, but if not, they could be missing 2, possibly 3 starts out of Lodolo. Let's talk about JP Sears. He got optioned by the Padres after he was just acquired. In the deal that brought Mason Miller to the Padres. So I don't know what their plan is. It looks like they're doing the aggressive thing with just trying to get him fixed right away. Has been pitching well. Do you have any strong thoughts about them sending him down this quickly after his debut with them?
I mean, honestly, was surprised by it, but it almost kind of gives me the sense that, like you're saying, they're just trying to fix him right now, and they're just saying we feel confident that we can get to the postseason. Let's give you a few starts down there in AAA, and then we'll call you back up, see if you can fix something for this last whatever month it is, couple weeks, whoever in the postseason start, the last 3 to 4 starts he's going to make. Get a nice push out of you there in the postseason because he's probably not going to be starting a playoff game for them unless they have some injury, especially with like a Michael King coming back here soon. But so I think maybe this is the right play to help just get him fixed now. And obviously, it's kind of hard to do that mid-season. These kind of something where you have to work off-season wise to make huge changes. So hopefully, we can see him back here soon, and hopefully, he's fixed back to what we know he can be, which is a solid back end of the rotation arm.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, this is the part of the year where once guys start getting injured, though, we see a lot of season is over statuses. So we saw that with Kevin Ginkel, another closer for the Arizona Diamondbacks, by the way. I'm only laughing because it's their position. It's like everyone man who steps up to be the closer of the Arizona Diamondbacks this season effectively gets told their season's over. So this happened with Justin Martinez. It happened with what's his name, AJ Puck, and who's the other guy that went down for them too? That I'm not thinking of. Doesn't even matter. It happens. Do you have
I
it?
believe it was Zach Thompson.
No, I don't recall Zach Thompson. But regardless, Kevin Ginkel now out for Arizona, Colorado. They placed second baseman Tierra Estrada on the 10-day IL. They recalled Adil Amador back. We'll see how that works. Finally, Roki Sasaki is beginning a rehab assignment. He's targeting a late August, early September return. So the Japanese rookie has expressed he has no pain, quote unquote, or he's pain free in his throwing shoulder. So that's good to hear. Would love to see more of Roki Sasaki. Any other things that I might have missed that you want to roll through before we jump to the eye-popping stat of the week?
It was Ryan Thompson when we were thinking about there that went down.
Okay.
I think proves that. And I think it kind of proves, too, that right now the two most volatile positions in sports injury-wise are NFL running backs and Arizona Diamondbacks closers because they're dropping like flies. I mean, they lost the majority of their bullpen, and they're still a pretty good team for doing so even without Gino and Josh Naylor there. So, and on the Roki Sasaki aspect of things, this honestly surprised me. I honestly thought when he first went down for injury, we weren't going to see him back by the end of this year. So it is cool to see him get his rehab assignment again, and it kind of fits the theme of last episode too, that the Dodgers are getting healthy, and we all know the Dodgers are very, very scary when they're healthy.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the scarier teams when they're healthy. That's for damn sure. Gavin Williams, eye-popping stat of the week. Cleveland Guardians starting pitcher. He was 2 outs away from a no-hitter on Wednesday. And then your boy, Juan Soto, had to break it up with a solo shot. So it would have been the first no-hitter of the year. Shocker to hear that. I feel like no-hitters, like, we get a lot more of them nowadays. I don't know if, because and right here is the follow-up of that. If the trend continues and we don't have another no-hitter this year, it'll be the first year without one since 2005. So it does happen yearly. It's not often, but it does happen. So do you think that we'll see a no-hitter before the end of the year?
I really hope so, and I would, if I had to say, I would probably say yes. It might be kind of hopeful thinking there, but I really wanted Gavin Williams. I mean, obviously watching this game, and then the Guardians had the Mets scoreless for like 14 innings straight, I believe, between 2 games. I wanted him to get this no-hitter. Normally, I would want my team to break that up, but I really wanted him to get this, especially too, where Stephen Vogt, he understood the history aspect of this thing. He knew that there hadn't been any no-hitters thrown in this time. That it was 41 years since the Guardians' last no-hitter has been thrown. Stephen Vogt, there's not many managers right now that would let a guy go out there and throw 130 pitches, whatever he threw. I know it was the highest of any pitcher this season. So shout out to Steve Vogt for out there trusting his player, let him go out there and try to break some history out there, it was cool to see a manager in there, especially someone who was a player manager too, pretty recent to the game, who's seen the old school and the new school baseball played during both of it. So that was a great start with Gavin Williams. Who's also just the last few starts for him too have been great. He's right to the Gavin Williams I think a lot of people expected to see at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. I do have one cool thing to show you. I don't have this on the agenda. So first and foremost, I'm going to give a little story and conclude our episode here. So my girlfriend and I, we've been running around like dogs this summer. Like I have not had a pool day. We're moving in together, have no pool where we're going. This is it. All my friends, no one has pools here. Like this is the last of the pools. And like, haven't gone to pool day together, haven't done anything. And that's what happens when you got 16 weddings in 1 year. It's been insane. So one of her friends texts me, she is good friends with this guy. He's also engaged to one of her best friends. And the guy texts me, goes, "Hey, want to go to the card show this weekend?" And I was like, "I'm not spending money this weekend, like whatever." I go to the freaking card show. And then I don't spend a ton of money. I pay the admission. I get a raffle ticket. I go around and I see this picture autographed by a player. And there's a Brooklyn Dodgers thing. I couldn't see who it was. And I asked the guy to see it. And he's like, "We're actually doing a raffle for it if you want to like enter or whatever." Pretty much just gave me this photo because I was like the first person. There was hundreds of people here, by the way. Hundreds. I'm sure a few thousand came through in and out the day. I guess I was the only person asking about this. So he ended up just giving this to me and say I want it. So shout out to Keys_cards and Miller Time Collectibles. Again, that's Keys_cards and Miller Time Collectibles for donating this and raffling it off. And now it'll be a part of my baseball collection now of a signed photo of Carl Erskine. So the reason why this is awesome for me is, and it's a fresh auto. It's a very nice auto. Carl Erskine is from Anderson, Indiana. That's just northeast of where I live. He is a legend in Anderson, Indiana. On top of that, there's not a lot of Indiana baseball players who make it big. There's a few, like you got your Scott Rowlands, Max Clark, Zach McKinstry's an Indiana boy. Think of a few others, but we got Hayden Winya. We need him. We need him coming up from the Giants organization. But the cool thing is, this is just a cool piece of memorabilia to add. And if anyone who doesn't know who Carl Erskine is, he has 122 career wins. He is an all-star from 1954, and he's a World Series champion in 1955, meaning he was an all-star the same year that my grandpa just gave me that program for with the Brooklyn Dodgers, which is even cooler now that I have 2 pieces with that associated with that team. And the other cool thing about Carl Erskine, he set a World Series record with 14 strikeouts in a single game. pretty good stuff, right?
That's pretty cool. I like the coincidence too of getting that program from the same exact year. That's actually awesome.
Yeah, it was totally random. I bought a few other cards, cheap cards, but pulling that and like I was like, my girlfriend's gonna kill me for putting another thing on the wall here, but I don't care. Well, that's it. That's it for me. Do you got anything else?
I just got to say that both New York teams right now are awful, and they've been awful for 2 months now.
Yankees have lost 5 of their last 6 series. They stink. The Yankees stink. Again, thank you.
And since June,
What were
I
you
would say
saying?
since June 13th, they have the third. Since June 13th, the Mets and the Yankees have the third and fourth worst records in all of baseball.
Not a shocker. They're both bad. Shout out again, Miller Time Collectibles. I thought it was a cool logo sticker. And then at Keys_cards, go follow them. Check out our latest blogs, post. We'll be posting this on YouTube. Thank you again if you're listening. We're out.